Hey, this is Solomon here. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to send a text message with Express and Node as your backend and having React as your front end. We will be using an API called Twilio. I expect you to have be familiar with it, or at least create an account where you'll be able to get a free phone number, and then it'll give you your account SID and an auth token that you'll need for this tutorial. But yeah, so they'll give you about $15 in credit just so you can test out their platform. So don't worry about spending money right away. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to create a React app. So create React app. We'll call this texting tutorial. And that's creating right now. Hurry up. But yeah, so all of the information and all the code will be on in the description. The link will be going to my GitHub, or at least, yeah. The link in the description will link to my GitHub, which will have the code for this tutorial. All right, so that's just built. So next thing we want to do is we want to cd into that texting tutorial. And we'll open up Visual Studio Code. Alrighty. Okay, so now it just built our basic React app. If we open up our integrated terminal in Visual Studio Code, we can just say yarn start. And that will basically have your React app running on the browser. And let's open up this link right here. And as you can see, it gives us the basic React starter pack. There's the React link, React logo, welcome to React, and if you want to get started, you have to edit the app.js file. Alrighty, we'll bring that back over here. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to want to create our front end with React. Do we want to create a front end? You know what? Let's actually start with our server. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create a file called server, and then we're going to create an index.js file. All right. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to install our dependencies, and I'll include that in the comment right here. So we'll say this will be a yarn add Express, cores, and Twilio. So we'll copy this. Let's copy that fully. And we'll open up a new terminal, and we'll print that and enter. So those are the required packages. Express will be your server, essentially. Cores is it blocks any browser restrictions when you're trying to make an HTTP call, when something requires HTTPS or something like that. And then you have your Twilio package, of course. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to create some variables. We'll call this Express, and we'll require the Express package. Create cores. We'll require the cores package. And Twilio. And we'll require that as well. Twilio is a really, really cool platform. We use it for our app that we're building. We can use it for essentially verifying users. You can use it as a programmable chat, or like in-app chat if you built like an app that needed chat for, like, people, person-to-person chat. There's video chat as well. It's pretty cool API that you can do. All right, so here are the required Twilio variables. So we'll call this Twilio requirements for the texting API. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to have our account SID. And like I said, you have to create your Twilio account, and I won't actually expose that right now. You might want to use like an environmental variable just for safekeepings, and then auth token, and that'll be your auth token authenticate. Alrighty. Now we're going to want to create a client, which will just be both variables above. So that will equal account SID and auth token. Alrighty. So next thing we want to do is we want to create an alias for the Express variable. So we'll call this app. Constant app is equal to Express. Let's say alias. Next thing we want to do is we want to utilize the cores, basically blocking the browser restrictions for the Express app. So we'll say app.use cores. Create that function. Alrighty. And we'll add a comment right there. Restricts, or this actually blocks the browser from restricting any data. Oh, that is very slow. And I spelled restricting wrong. Who cares at this point in time? We'll fix that later. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we're going to create basically a welcome page for the server. And so all you got to do is welcome page for the server. All you're doing is app.get, and this will be your root directory. And we'll create a function, request, result, make an arrow function, and result.send, and this will just return a message to the browser, basically saying, hey, this is welcome to the Express server. Cool bean. Got that. And the next thing you want to do, I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Oh, that's not right. We don't want those. Oh, we want a curly brace. Let's do that. Not an array brace. There we go. All right. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create or have our app listen to a specific port. So I expect you, before you can actually run the Express server, I expect you to have nodemon installed. It's an npm package that lets you live reload your server. I will include the link to the description of installing that. All you got to do really though is for your system is npm install nodemon-g, which will install it globally, and you'll be able to use it anywhere. So yeah, must have nodemon installed. Yeah, we want to have our app listen to a specific port. So we'll call this http://localhost, and we'll have it on port 4000. And so app.listen 4000, and we're going to console that out. So console.log, basically it's running on the running on port 4000. So let's create a string running on port 4000. Alrighty, so we got that set up. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is we're going to want to create the actual text. If you want to send the text, we'll use a GET request. So we'll call this Twilio text. And so we'll do app.get, and we'll have it as a specific directory. So we'll call this send text. And basically the same setup as above. So having a function, an arrow function. We don't need a welcome message for that, but we need some get variables. So this will be passed in the query string, which we'll basically strip and use as the variables when we're sending the text. So get variables passed via query string. And we want to create some variables from that, of course. So we want to create a recipient. So the person that filled out this I can't speak today, sorry, the specific form. So the recipient, and we're going to want to get their message. So I'll call this text message. All right, and set that equal to the query string. All right, so now we actually want to send the text. So we'll say send text, and what we need to do is client dot messages and then dot create. So the body, of course, will be that text message. The two will be the recipient, and then the phone number will be your Twilio specific phone number that they give you. So when you create an account, you actually are able to buy a phone number with the credit that they give you. They give you like $15 worth of credit, I had said, and you can test out their platform. So this number has to be the Twilio number that you're given. So from Twilio. All right. So then we just want to create a then just to make sure that the message is sent. And we'll console that. We'll console the message out. Console.log message.body. Alrighty. So yeah, I think we have everything set up for the server. Yes, we do. All right. So the next thing we want to do is run it. Actually say nodemon index.js. Oh, let me cd into the server, and then we'll say nodemon index.js. All right, so it's running on port 4000. Let's check that out just to make sure. 4000, and we'll bring that over here. All right, so as you can see, welcome to the Express server. As you can see, it's running. So yeah, now on to creating the React form itself. That'll be our front end. So let's go to the app.js file, and we can just delete all of this right here, and we don't need this either. Oh, actually, you know what? I might just want to keep. It's gonna look really plain, so we might as well just keep that in there. So let me check it out again real quick. So yeah, we just got the welcome to React still. We'll just keep that in there just because. So now to create the actual form, here, let me navigate over here. Oops, sorry. All right, so we're going to want to create some state variables. We're going to call this state is equal to text. We're going to have recipient. We're going to have that as a blank state. And let me change this to a React keyword. There we go. And then text message. There we go. And so now we're going to want to create a text message function. Gosh, still can't speak today. So when the person presses the button of the form, this will be passed along. So the actual text will be passed along. So we said send text is equal to arrow function. So we're going to want to call that text state. So text is equal to this dot state. Next thing we want to do is we're going to want to pass the variables in the query string using that get, essentially the get request, like we mentioned before. So if we look over here, so this is taking variables from the query string, and so we're going to pass the variables with the query string in the app.js file. So pass variables within the query string. All right. So what we want to do is we want to say fetch HTTP. Want to make some ticks over here. There we go. HTTPS or HTTP right now. We're on localhost. Localhost 4000. Of course, we want to get sending the text directory. So send text, and then we want to create some variables. So recipient is equal to. Let's make this real quick. Text dot recipient, and then our message is equal to the text.message, of course. Text.text message. There we go. And we just want to catch any errors that may occur. So we'll catch, pass a parameter, and console.error at parameter. All right, so there's that. So now we have our function. Now we just have to create the actual HTML for it. So we're going to want to call that text state in between the render and return method. So we'll say essentially the same thing we did above in the sending the text function. So send text is equal to this dot state. And I do have some styles that I'll actually add. So const spacer, and this will be in between our in between the I can't even speak right now. Oh yeah, in between the inputs. So do that. Spacer margin is 8. Call const text area equal to border radius. And that will be our text box. So let me copy this HTML from over here. I have it on my clipboard. So copy, and we'll place that right under the header. And so as you can see, so we got the send text message. What is your phone number? And then what is your message? What do you have to say? And then in between, we do have some on-change events taking place. So we do have a parameter called E, and so when somebody inputs something, we're actually setting the recipient state or their phone number equal to the text.recipient, and that's the same for over here, except this will be the message, and the button on click will actually pass the send text function so that it actually sends the text when you submit the form. So we'll save that. All right, so let's bring that over here. And so you can see we do have your phone number and then the message, and we have the send text, of course. What we want to do is I have to actually fill out the account SID because I don't have it yet. So yeah, I'll actually hide that and do this. That'll just be one moment, sorry. Oh, I can't find it. So I'm just gonna go to my Twilio account real quick. And so I can get my account SID and stuff. Or actually, I think I can just open up this actually have it in a different file. Let's find that. So text, send text. All right, so here's our SID. Need that. And we want our token, and we'll put that in here as well. All right, so I just put that in there. So it should be ready actually. So we're gonna bring this React form over here. So my phone number would be 507-440-7130. I have to make sure that it's in the proper format for Twilio. So yeah. Oh, we don't want that. There we go. So recipient will be +1. There we go. All right. So now we should be able to test it out. So 507-440. So this is a message with Twilio API using Express as the backend and React as our front end. Cool. So let's test it out. Oh, looks like we're getting an error over here. So cannot read property create of undefined. What's going on then? Let's go back over here. Localhost 4000. That's odd. You know what? Let's actually use our virtual IP. So we'll do this actually. Try that out. And we'll bring this over here again. We'll bring our React form. So 507-440-7130. I'll just pass in lorem ipsum. Too long. Failed to load again. All right, so of course we have some issues going on. Of course we can fix this, of course, so it's not such a big deal. If I'm getting the error, you might be getting the error too, so we can solve the problem together. All right. Text recipient. Just want to make sure everything's correct. Make sure these variables are right. Body. And let me get rid of this then. Let me just try it without this. Here, let me pause the video real quick. All right, so I think I found out what the issue was. If there's a pause in the video, please understand what it was. So when we created this up here, the constant client, we forgot to add new Twilio. And so, yeah, that was the error I had to debug. It probably took me about five minutes to figure out what it was. But that's the perks of the video. X out of that. All right, so I'll bring this over here. We'll refresh this. Oop. Make sure everything's right. All right, so we'll call my number 507-440-7130. This is a test text message using Express and React. All right, and I just got a text on my phone from the number 507-473-4314, and that's our Twilio number, I believe. Make sure that is. Yep, that's our Twilio number. And yeah, so it says this is a text message using Express and React. And so that's how you send text messages with Twilio, or using Twilio, and then having Express/Node as your backend, and then having React as your front end. I'm Solomon Antoine, and I am out.